Do you see now the difference in our power?
Lately on Twitter, I've been seeing a lot of people complain about Reina's forward 4-2 spam. Now, at the time of this video, you probably seen a short that I did about Reina's forward 4-2 spam, and you probably heard me talk about her in a previous video. I did a 3-part series where I was talking about the flaws or the problems with every single character, and some characters I went very in depth with. Yoshimitsu, I spent about 2 minutes talking about everything that I think he is doing that he should not be doing. Other characters probably just said a couple of things. But for the character Reina, I talked about forward 4-2, and the thing that I want to say at the start of this is I know there's a lot of Reina mains. She's one of the most played characters in the game. But I also think that this is affecting you guys because we have a really cool character, which is Reina. She's probably the coolest new character that has been in Tekken for, since forever, right? She's an amazing character. But I think the developers are kind of dropping the ball with her as, more time goes on and as the characters are balanced, right? And I also can say the same thing for Victor and Azazina, but I really want to focus this conversation on Reina. Reina has so much potential. She is quickly becoming, and she kind of is already, the most cosplayed character in Tekken. She is, and she has the potential to break out of Tekken and become a thing of her own, kind of like Chun-Li with Street Fighter, kind of like Tifa with Final Fantasy. This is why I personally care so much about the character, because she has the ability to just break boundaries, but that will not happen if the balancing side of this character is not where it should be. Now, when I say that, I know people immediately think, but Moonsault, the character is not powerful. There are so many characters who are far stronger than her, and that is 100% true. You can name like 25 characters that are stronger than Reina and no one would disagree. But the thing is that Reina has a flaw that is quickly becoming one of the most talked about things, at least currently. The conversation always changes. People always wake up and talk about a new character. But right now, it's Reina and the forward 4-2 spam. And when you talk about what Reina's forward 4-2 can do, first off, it's a mid. 12 frame startup, it's -9 on block, and on hit, it's +2. When you hold forward, you could go into her stance, Sentai. Once she gets into that stance, she has a lot of different attacks she can do. Strings, evasion, throws, transitions into other stances, and this move leading into so many scenarios, it just makes the head spin. You have mids that low crush, you have mids that are power crushing, you have mid power crush that is delayable. She can cancel it into nothing. She also have the launch punishable heat gauger. Then she has the low high attack, which is homing. You can duck and launch it, but it's like, once again, when you think about all of these different things that's going on, it's kind of crazy. And then to top it all off, just to make this stance extra slimy, they gave her an unbreakable throw. And we see this happen with a lot of characters where their main stances get a unbreakable throw. And that added part there by the developers is really what makes these stances super annoying as well. Because, not to go off on a tangent, but when people say look at the hands and, that the hands is how you break the throws, now people are saying look at the homing trails. Homing trails, you press, one button. No homing trails, you press 1+2. I just think when you talk about the visual clarity and recognizing patterns within Tekken, unbreakable throws completely throw that out of the window. And I think it's just another thing that makes these stances problematic and people not like them. And it's completely unnecessary because it turns a good character like Reina sour very, very fast. The reason why all of the Reina players spam forward 4-2 and basically these low mix-up attacks is because that's all they really have. If you think about some of the other ways that characters can engage, Rank has so many. He has mids, power crushes, he has highs, he can jump at you from across he has so many ways to attack, so many ways to get in on you. Yoshimitsu could do the same thing. He can turtle, he can run at you, forward 4-3, 1+2 in heat. Reina currently only has one way to attack. And that one way to attack, you have to have a certain type of knowledge to deal with that. Something we talk about in this game is how it takes very little effort to do some of these attacks, but you have to have a very good understanding of the game on how to defend it. But then also, this one attack is a stance. You forward 4-2, she could do the power crushes, launch punishable, she could do lows, she could do mid, she could cancel it, she could do this, she could do I believe to grab out of it, right? Correct me if I'm wrong. But this one attack allows her to close the distance from basically like full screen, like kind of full mid screen, and then she just mix up the opponent. And a lot of people were just quickly quickly becoming sick of this gameplay. And I want to stress again, it's not the Reina players. I personally think if they gave Reina more ways to attack, more ways to engage, when you talk about new moves to put into this game, that's what we need. Players naturally discovered that Reina's forward 4-2 is the most effective way to engage. So what they need to do in season 3, is one, probably nerf forward 4-2 just a little bit, but then give her new ways to get in and to basically attack the opponent, and that way the play style and the gameplay doesn't feel so repetitive, and for the defender so disappointing. We see so many Reinas from so many different skill levels, and they all display the same tools, and this is the problem with Tekken 8 as a whole, where you could watch Atif play Anna, or you could watch an online player play Anna, and they're doing the same things. Reina right now is a character who really highlights that, because forward 4-2 is all she has, and the developers, if they were smart and if they wanted to save this character and the conversation around her to change that, they would give her more than forward 4-2, because it's just not going so well. What I said on Twitter right now, right? The Reina matchup is just countering forward 4-2 spam. It's repetitive and disappointing. And this is the reason why I use the word disappointing, because once again, I make this video because I really think Reina has serious potential, and she is definitely one of my favorite new characters to be added over the past decade. And seeing the character a year and a half into the lifespan boil down to just countering forward 4-2, it's kind of sad, man. Like I remember the days of Tekken, and now she's a Tekken 8 character, right? But I remember the days of Tekken where you used to interact with the whole move list and not just one move over and over and over. And I really feel like, even for the Reina players, I feel like it's robbing them of that experience as well. They just have to press forward 4-2 and then they can play Tekken. Why are they locked behind that one move? Allow the Reina mains to play this game, to interact with this game without having to spam that the whole entire match. I seen someone say on Twitter, Tekken has got to be the only fighting game with a community that constantly praises how complex and nuanced the game is, while simultaneously being too lazy to learn and understand said complexities and nuances. People got to stop crashing out and learn the game. But in response to this tweet here, someone says, they quote him and say, learn the game. And then you can see it's a gift of Reina doing forward 4-2 over again, right? So you can just see how Reina's forward 4-2 is like one of the talking points right now. And it's really not even about, I have to reiterate this. It's not about how strong Reina is. Reina is not strong at all. The point that people are making is that this gameplay puts you into a box. Moves like this removes the complexity. Moves like this puts you in a situation where you're only limited to a few things. And if you don't do that, you die for it. And when this move is being thrown out so much, I'm interested to see what like the Reina mains think about this. The forward 4-2 spam and how players are kind of sick of defending against it, you know, having to guess mid, high, and, you know, kind of being restricted in so many different ways. I wonder if the Reina mains are okay with the character being this way. Like, oh, I just want to spam forward 4-2 until, you know, the end of the earth. Or if they also want more out of their gameplay as well. Because I know someone responded to my tweet with a meme. This is just a meme, but it says peak gameplay, if I do say so myself. You don't know what you're missing. Like, it's a meme, it's a joke, but I wonder if there's some truth to it. Are the Reina mains really happy with just spamming forward 4-2? And do they want more? Because here's the thing that you also got to talk about when you're addressing balance in this game, or how moves operate. We always talk about how this sucks, that sucks, but it seems like a lot of players are perfectly fine with doing what they're doing, and they don't really want more, or it seems like they don't want it to change, you know? So with Reina being a new character and the conversation surrounding her changing to be very negative over the past couple of days, I just wonder how people feel about the character in general. So I wanted to make this video. I'll be looking through the comments. Let me know what you think, but that's it. Like, subscribe, and bye-bye.